Hey, everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zane. I'm joined by the original Mufungo himself, Rich Stambolian.
I'm Mufungo now? I'm not a Mufaletta?
No, you're a Mufungo. I like Mufungo.
Me too. I like all the M foods.
All the M
mozzarella
foods.
sticks.
Mozzarella.
Mufungo. That's delicious.
What a week. Friday edition of the show. It was a very busy week for both of us. Man, I got my ass handed to me.
Oh, yeah?
This week, very long week.
Yeah, it's a long week. I thought yesterday was Friday, and then
I wish it was.
It's not.
I wish it was Friday.
I got a long weekend ahead of me, too.
Oh, man, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, the big story here is the merger. AEW coming to Queens on Wednesday. Rich and I are going to be there. We got our press passes. We got press clearance for that show.
They were very nice to extend to us press passes for the Grand Slam event. I'm very excited. We're going to be sitting in that little press area that the US Open has. We're going to get down there.
Good. It's happening. It's slowly happening. The voice is coming in slowly.
It's happening.
Let's go into this right now.
Yeah.
They merged. TKO Holdings is now live this week. It was finalized on Tuesday. TKO was newly merged company between Endeavor that has 51% and WWE that has 49%. Vince McMahon will serve as chairman of TKO Holdings. Ari Emanuel will serve as CEO. Nick Khan teased the idea of AEW and UFC doing shows together. They're running same day or weekend. That's going to be interesting.
Very.
What does that mean for the future of WrestleMania? Or can you do something bigger than WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah. What would you call that? What would you call something bigger than WrestleMania
that has a UFC thing?
Would you combine the worlds though? Would you do like half pro, half half UFC? Or
I think they're going to be surprised. I think there is far more wrestling fans, WWE fans, that would watch UFC versus the other way. So I don't know if a dual event, combined together would make sense. But I think if you did something like WWE runs in the afternoon, UFC runs at night, or the opposite, I think that would be fantastic. I think that's a really smart, combination of two different brands.
What about this? What about one weekend and I think that's what they mentioned, like Saturday night, let's say Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, Saturday night UFC, flip it, turn around the next night and do a big pay-per-view on Sunday for WWE.
Yeah, I mean, that
Something
makes
like
a lot
that.
of sense.
Mhm,
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. This is something that, it's interesting, because didn't Shane want to acquire them at one point, UFC?
Like he did WCW?
Yeah, no, legitimately, didn't he want to acquire UFC at one point?
I don't know
I
what
did
it
hear
was. I think it was
rumblings of
early
that.
2000s.
Early
I think.
2000s, yeah, and it's wild. These two companies have had synergy. I mean, think about all the talent that they've had across the board that have done both professional wrestling. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, a lot of their top stars. It was Pride. He wanted to buy Pride, which was more of a Pride fan than UFC fan at that point. But it's interesting. Or now somebody's saying it was UFC. So who knows? I don't know anymore. I think this is great. I think this makes a lot of sense. The company's value is tremendous. He had a good day on the market. Vince looked ridiculous. Did you see the Durag Vince AIs?
Oh my God. That Photoshop work was truly superb. It fooled me. I thought that it was Vince and Triple H shaking hands, and Vince had a purple do-rag on. And when he had that thin mustache, it reminded me of Leon from Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I was like, is Vince just doing is he turning into Leon from Curb from now on?
I would love
the thin mustache and the do-rag.
I would love that. First of all, Vince has the same hairpiece as me. We obviously have gone to the same shop, same dye job too.
You went to the same guy.
He looks gnarly.
Dude.
Just I want you to think about this, okay? It's 1996. 1996 Vince McMahon, and I showed you a picture of this man. I said, this is Vince in the future. You would not believe it.
I wouldn't believe you at all. I if you showed me those those like attitude era, like corporate Vince photos, the Vince in my head is always the Vince who did the commercial for like the ruthless aggression stuff. Remember, like the attitude era is over and we're going to get more ruthless. And it's him on just like a black screen. That's Vince in my head perpetually. This guy is from another planet.
No, this is alternate Earth, whatever. You know, like actually, this is an alternate Earth if you really think about it. This corporate structure is fascinating. There's layoffs happening as we speak. We'll have more information as they come in. They did lay off Jamie Horowitz, Vice President of Development and Digital. He was a controversial hire. He was from the Zone. He was let go from Fox for an alleged sexual harassment issue. We're going to see a lot of these layoffs. I messaged a couple of my buddies over there, and I said, Godspeed. I hope you're not laid off. Just hoping the best for them. But they did send out a letter yesterday telling everybody to work from home.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. That's right. They put that thing out saying work from home, but just in case. It's like a wink and a nod kind of thing.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, you think this is going to be positive? What changes do you expect? I think there's going to be some changes happening.
I think Vince McMahon died when the limo exploded, and this person, whoever it is, took over.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
You know what? I think it's going to be interesting. I'm really, honestly, like truly fascinated by this because it's an interesting merger between two companies that essentially do the same thing, except one does it realistically, and the other one is UFC. That's a joke. But, why not, right? This could be a match made in heaven. I just want to see what the combination of stuff is. Are we going to get a UFC fight to open WrestleMania? Are we going to get UFC fighters tag teaming with, like, the Usos or Roman Reigns?
There's a couple people, right? Like, there's a couple people that you would say. I mean, the obvious one is Conor McGregor. The other thing is, you have people that have just tremendous value in that company. Mm-hmm. Conor being one, Khabib is another one. And then you have guys that become past their prime, and you really can't utilize them as well.
Right.
Chuck Liddell is one example. I'm not talking about current day Chuck Liddell. I'm talking Chuck Liddell towards the end of his run with UFC. Sure. You see a guy that it has tremendous star power. You could still make money with him. Why not explore this option where you could get at least 2 years, 3 years out of them? Ronda Rousey, great example. Had a great UFC career. I mean, historic fighter, regardless if you like her or not. She went to WWE, had that great year, that WrestleMania season career. Obviously she went away and came back. It wasn't as well done, but, you could do that with all of them.
Yeah, but who do you think is going to be like... Well, a better question would be, what is the crossover? Are there any numbers on what's the crossover of WWE fan and UFC fan?
Dave has those numbers. Dave has those numbers. I don't remember what it was, but it was more... WWE fans are more inclined to watch a big fight than UFC viewers to watch a wrestling match.
That makes sense. So, for example, let's take us, for example. You, MG, and Deacon are more into UFC than I am.
Yeah. For sure.
And I
Deacon
think that's 4 people who both enjoy wrestling and fighting, right? Take me out of the occasion. So that's 75%. 75%.
But you would watch a Conor main event if it's a big
I
time.
would.
If you would watch Lesnar,
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley is another big name. Sean Strickland, he just won the title. He beat Israel Adesanya last weekend. This guy's a great talker.
Israel Adesanya, I think, would fit perfectly in WWE.
He's like a spooky man. He's like
I love that
so
dude.
Long. He's so lanky.
I love that guy. Yeah, but like I wouldn't go out of my way to pay for those. I would do like a party. You know what I mean? Like I would go somewhere. But I think it's just going to be really interesting. I really want to see like where this. I think it's going to be wacky more than anything. I feel like this is not going to be a serious presentation. I think it's just going to be a more lighthearted approach to introduce people to like all these characters. Why not, right?
And I think UFC could learn from something from WWE. For years, Dana White has been very much against the pyro and the ballyhoo of entrances. He doesn't like a pro wrestling promo at the end of a match. I think now he embraces it more. But 10 years ago, this man was very against it. there's a lot of this wrestling crossover. A lot of these kids were influenced by pro wrestling. Covington is a great example. He came out with Kurt Angle's theme.
Yeah.
At the Staples Center, they were chanting, "You suck." It reminisces. So it exists. I don't know. The other thing they will need, I think WWE will do a better job at assisting UFC with merchandise.
Yes, 100%.
I think merch, they'll benefit from this because WWE is way better at that. The technical presentation of things, the lighting, stuff like that. I think WWE is a better presentation. I think there's definitely going to be synergy, and I think it's definitely going to benefit both companies for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Do you foresee roster cuts coming though?
Yes, I do. I see cuts all across the board. I think now, the reality is you're very bloated. When you combine two companies, obviously the corporate side, there's going to be a lot of. I think there's going to be a lot of reshuffling the deck here. I think politics is going to come into play. It was really the Nick Khan show over there. Nick brought in some tremendous people to help facilitate the TV deals and facilitate this new deal that we got here. You and I both know multiple people at that company, and they're all, super, super professional, corporate, great hires. They're going to land on their feet for sure. But you're going to see this. This happens with every company. This happens whenever there's a merger like this, even if it's two different companies, So this is a new company. This is not the same WWE. What we're going to see in 10 years will be a whole different company.
Oh, my God.
In every level. Okay?
Absolutely.
Vince is not the... obviously, he still has tremendous influence in the company, but he's not the CEO. It's not his company anymore. Once Vince officially phases out, then it could be anybody. So, very interested to see where this goes.
Ooh, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, does this mean you're going to get a major UFC event in Saudi Arabia?
No, because I think, where do they do theirs? Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, they have that island. They
have the island. I think they have a deal with that. But I think it also is going to open up WWE to do more international shows.
Okay.
Right now, I think Australia paid tremendous money to get this show last weekend. They were originally going to be in Mexico City, but they got outbid. So I think WWE is going to really benefit from that. The strategy of how to do these international shows where they're very paid for.
Yeah.
It's just the landscape's changing. That's how it is. Talking about mega shows, WWE announced 2024 Royal Rumble will take place at Tropicana Field in Tampa. All right, they're back to Florida.
Cool.
That's where they did the pandemic era.
Yeah.
That's fine. Royal Rumble in Florida. All right, cool.
I'm excited for the Rumble.
Yeah. Let's go into this other story here. This is a big story. Jade Cargill is believed to be leaving AEW and going to WWE, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.
Interesting.
She lost on Rampage. Here's a spoiler. It's all over, so we're going to talk about it. Apparently, probably her best match she's ever had.
Wow.
People in attendance felt that it was a goodbye. We spoke about this a year ago. I was asked about, questions about Jade and what I thought of her. I was asked if I know her by certain people. I said, no, I don't know her. But we spoke about the level of interest in her. And she was described, what was described to me is, normally when they pick up a wrestler from the indies or another company, they have to do a makeover, right? They gotta WWE-ify them up. And it's rare that they have somebody that has the total package already done.
Exactly. So you got Cody.
Well, Cody was established, right? Cody was an established star that knew how to do this. We're talking about, a non-WWE-ified person.
Okay.
Right? I'm willing to bet if Kenny Omega went to AEW, WWE, they would be a new look. They would be a new package a little bit. They would.
Oh, for sure.
Nakamura wasn't the same Nakamura. They made it a little bit bigger when he came to the main roster.
Absolutely.
But Jade is the total package. She has the look. She has that thing that they need to be a WWE star. I don't know if she's officially going, but I think if she does, this is a great move for her.
It's very interesting because I always felt that she was one of the strongest parts of that women's division in AEW, and I always felt that in order to keep her, Tony Khan should throw all kinds of money her way, because she is tremendous, right? She already was in developmental, and WWE lost her years ago. Is she going to go to NXT first and dominate NXT? Is she going to show up on SmackDown? What would you do if the rumors are true that she's going back to WWE?
Well, there's a couple things here, right? First of all, I have to sneeze. So sorry. I had to sneeze. You got to talk about her workability, right? Is it what WWE wants? I think she's fine. I like what they've done with her in AEW, that they've limited her wrestling, and they really put that, she's this big dominant force. But WWE has a certain way they like you to do things. So she's probably going to need a crash course for sure. I don't think that you're going to change her look. I don't think she should be in NXT at all.
Yeah, I agree with
the money that she's asking for from AEW, or apparently asked for, was very high. So again, I don't know if she's officially going there. I mean, we've all heard the rumor, but if you have an opportunity, and here's the other thing, right? You have that William Morris connection with Endeavor now.
Yeah.
It's no longer about just being a professional wrestler. It's about becoming a big TV star, and having WME behind you works.
Right.
Cody is going to benefit from this. The Miz is going to benefit from this. Anybody with crossover appeal is going to benefit from this. And I think someone like Jade that aspires to do more than just wrestle, this is a great possibility. However, she's never worked a WWE schedule. I don't know if she would want to. You want to be on the road like that?
And I believe she's in her 40s, and I feel like for WWE,
Jade's not
that's
in
like
her
a
40s. No. Jade's not in her 40s. Yeah.
Sure about that?
I'm almost certain. 31.
No,
yeah, 31. She's born in 1992.
Huh.
Where did you get
that?
Well,
the issue is she's married to Brandon Phillips, who's like well off. I mean, he was one of the best baseball players of his time.
Yeah.
So, and he's got throwaway money. She doesn't need to work. I think that's part of it too.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fantastic. So, I mean, listen, Brandon Phillips was fantastic. He was a fantastic second baseman. Played for years. How old is he now? My God, he's
in his 40s.
Yeah, he's in his. No, he is in his 40s.
He's in his 40s. I made a
42
mistake.
old.
He's in his 40s.
Yeah. Oh, that's where you got confused.
Yeah.
Listen, I think for Jade, this is great. I wish AEW would have done a little more with her, because I felt that she was very much a world champion contender there. I don't know what her decision is, but if she goes to WWE, I expect her to go do a little crash course and go to the main roster in some capacity.
Rumble appearance?
Yeah, dude, that would be great. Can you imagine? That's her return?
Well, that would be cool, especially since Nia Jax is back with the company. You have Nia Jax clear the ring, and then all of a sudden, boom, Jade Cargill just gorilla presses her.
I wish I could mute my mic. I can't do my mute thing with you now.
Oh yeah,
I can't. I had a question for you, but
you could text me.
Yeah, I'll text it to you. Nia's back, so that's interesting.
Yeah,
she's the last Vince McMahon hire of the old WWE.
How fascinating!
Yeah, 1980. When did he buy it? 83.
Yeah, right. 82,
right.
83.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, 82.
Unbelievable. Rhea versus Jade, Bianca and Jade. Holy moly!
Charlotte and Jade. Like, you'd get a lot of dream matches out of this.
Yeah, here's a question.
Yeah.
Do they change their name?
No,
I feel like they would.
Why? But see, here's the thing, right? Why would you?
Well,
change
now that
that
Vince
name?
is out,
because don't you want the audience to know that you took her from AEW?
Right, and also they would probably give her because Jade Cargill is her real name. They would probably give her like some kind of moniker,
Jaden Cardigan.
Jaden Cardigan, or like I don't know, like the Heartbreaker, Jade Cargill, or something like that. Like the Queen, Charlotte Flair,
like
they'll
Kerry
do
Von
that.
Erich, the Texas Tornado, and then before long he was a Texas Tornado.
Yeah, Mole Man,
Yeah.
MG Geek,
The Mole Man, Mr. Gonzo.
Mr. Gonzo. So
MG,
interesting.
could you cut a Royal Rumble promo?
I'm gonna burrow through that ring. So she lost on Rampage to Chris Stratlander. That's going to air tonight. People in attendance felt that it was a good buy. AEW, this was controversial, okay? AEW turnstile count revealed by the local government.
Okay.
It was 72,265. It's about 9,000 less than it was announced. If you are in the ticketing business, you are very familiar that the turnstile number is generally 10% lower, right? For a number of reasons. One, people not getting scanned in. I can tell you that I've never gotten scanned in at Arthur Ashe.
Yeah.
Every time we've gone, remember? Last year, too, you didn't get scanned in.
No.
There's been times I've been to the Garden, I haven't gotten scanned in. City Field all the time. So it's possible.
I feel like a lot of that stuff is like, if you don't, because a lot of folks who work at these arenas may not be the most technologically savvy, and you have those handheld scanners. And like you said, I can't tell you how many times we've gone to places where somebody will just try to scan you and it won't work. And they'll just be like, all right, just come on in. I see your ticket. I see your QR code. Just come on in,
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the number is fine. People are making it be, you see, it wasn't 80-something. It was 80-something. There was 80-something thousand people that paid for a ticket. They're claiming 90,000 in the building. I think that number is pretty close, give or take. I think it's a ridiculous thing to argue.
As an Andrews Arian and a numbers guy, can you give me the insight into why these numbers drive people so effing bananas? Like, I can't tell you how many times I saw on social media, oh, it's a BS lie. And who effing cares? Like, tell me why, Andrew. Tell me why people get so nuts about this.
Because it's generally people that don't really understand how this works. And it's generally people that have a hard-on for either WWE or AEW in a bad way. That's all it is. Why does it matter? Did it having the turnstile number at 72,000 versus the attendance announced bought ticket at 82,000? How did that impact your view of that show?
Yeah,
it would have been so much better if that turnstile number was 82,000. I don't get it. I think the number obsession is very bizarre, and it's generally by detractors. It's never by people that are like normal. I listen, man. You want to get caught up on numbers and you want to obsess over it. That's fine. Whatever. Maybe you enjoy that, and that's your aspect of pro wrestling, and that's your thing.
You know what my view of it is?
What?
There was a lot of fucking people there.
Yeah, there was a lot of fucking people.
A lot of people.
That's it.
Yeah.
You never see that shit where like you go to a Met game and there's like, how many Met games have we been to where like there's so many seats, so many available seats, right? And the next day you never see people being like, oh, low attendance, blah blah blah. They said they had 14,000, but it was really 13,000.
It doesn't. No, they don't do that. Like I've been to Mets games where it's been like a jam packed like 42-6, right? Sold out.
Yeah.
Sold out, standing room, sold out, everything sold out. Nobody's like, it's like, they announced 46.5, but really it was 38. It wasn't really a sellout. Just fucking watch it, dude. Like, enjoy it. I like smaller venues. I like smaller events. I don't like going to the big ones. I've never had a great experience at a stadium show. Arthur Ashe, I'm not counting. Yeah. I'm not counting Arthur Ashe.
For stadium, it's a very small arena.
Very small. Hey, dude, we're getting that new soccer stadium. I can't wait.
I'm excited about that.
Are you excited to go watch some football with me?
I am. I'm also excited to see what else they do there because it's so close, and they'll probably do like big shows there.
Concerts, yeah, I love concerts.
Yeah, concerts, like festivals, stuff like that. I think it's also really good for the area. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, the Flushing College Point area where Arthur Ashe and Citi Field has been in like development hell for the past like 20 years. And now they're finally going to do something like pretty cool about it.
So it's a lot of alleged, right? The mafia is not real, guys. There's no such thing as a mafia. There never was. I think you guys are fools for believing there's a mafia. None of that stuff ever happened. But these chop shops were run by the mafia. And they held out. They didn't want to sell it to the city. They didn't want to sell it to developers. And they got, they held out for like 30 years. They've been trying to develop this area. Like, I think San Francisco's a dump now. But, like, a modern city generally has, like, the stadiums next to each other, right? And you go... And you'll go to like the baseball stadium or the football stadium, and you go, there's like stores, there's eating, there's drinking, there's hotels, everything, right?
Yeah. That's what
we
have
don't
here.
have that. We don't have that here. You have that by you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You might get shot, but you have it by you.
Exactly.
We don't have that here. So if you're going to Citi Field, guess what? There's nothing around you.
Right.
You are in the park. And thank God you are, because if you weren't, it's a disaster. You know what was hysterical? All our friends that flew in for that Arthur Ashe show made a huge mistake because they're like, hotels near Arthur Ashe.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody's hotel was on top of a rub and tug.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to explain to them, I'm like, dude, you're in like the heart of Flushing.
Yeah, you're in downtown Flushing.
You're in downtown Flushing.
There's no way around it. And then I made everybody walk to Arthur Ashe. I made everybody walk a mile to Arthur Ashe.
So maybe you should give your PSA again this year now that it's coming up of where to stay.
Yeah.
It's right.
Don't stay in Queens. Go to Manhattan if you're staying in the city.
It is a million times easier to get a place in Midtown Manhattan and take the Long Island Railroad to the Mets Willets Point stop and a short walk to Arthur Ashe Stadium. That is the way to do it. If you're going to stay in Queens and or in Flushing, you can hop on the 7 train for one stop, but prepare to deal with a lot of hot grossness.
And another thing.
I'm not saying it's bad. I love downtown Flushing. I grew up here, but listen, you're going to be in for a shock.
Yeah, you're a Flushing boy. See, I'm not a Flushing boy. I'm a Bayside boy.
Yeah.
You grew up there. I've experienced. My wife works in Flushing. I'm there all the time. It's unbelievable. It's insane. PWI.
It's a lot of fun.
Top 500 was released. Let's go top 10. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go top 17. This is what I have here.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? 25. You want to do 25?
Sure. You want to do 30?
I don't have 30. You want to do all 500? 28, Adam Page. Takahashi, 27. Drew McIntyre, 26.
Boom.
Kenny Omega, 25. 24, Chris Jericho. Sami Zayn at 22. 21, Kevin Owens. 17, Will Ospreay. Bryan Danielson at 16. Misha Slamovich, which is probably my favorite. Masha Slamovich.
Masha Slamovich, first, I believe first woman to break the top 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Of the men one, yeah. He might be right on that.
Yeah.
Of the
I
what
think
one?
I'm right on that. Of the men's PWI.
Ever?
I
don't know about
year?
ever, but yeah, this year she's the only one there.
Masha's
because
like great name.
She held the GCW title for a bit, so I think that's why.
She's number 25.
List.
Samoa Joe, she's 15, I'm sorry. Samoa Joe, 14. Carmelo Hayes, 13. Claudio Castagnoli, 12. Sonata, 11. Cody at 10. I got my allergies have kicked. Claudio at 12. Sonata, 11. Cody at 10. Josh Alexander, 9. Orange Cassidy, 8. I think that's a very fair number for Orange this year. Kazuchika Okada, 7. MJF, 6. Vikingos, 5.
Before we get to the top 4, Masha Slamovich, first woman in history to be included this high on the men's PWI.
I don't think that's accurate, if you ask me. No, I think if you were ever going to put anybody on that top 500 in the modern era, I would say Becky during that run should have been on that top 500.
Was she fighting men and women during that run?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry because they're fighting
the inclusion.
men. Yes. Yes.
She was doing the intergender stuff.
No. This is absolutely correct. The Masha should be on it. Absolutely. I have a problem here with the top 5.
Why?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Vikingo before MJF?
I think Vikingo took the world by storm this year because nobody saw, apart from the fans of like the Mexican wrestling, I don't think anybody in the States really paid attention to him until this year.
Okay. Gunther 4, Jon Moxley 3, Roman 2, and Seth Rollins number 1.
Shield, baby.
Shield. Oh, is that why Seth did the Shield
Posted that.
post?
Yep, that's exactly why.
Dude, you know, since 2013, these guys have dominated. It's been a decade for them. They've been doing this for a decade. Fascinating. Very interesting. These are the top 3. All right, cool. You know, PWI. When are we getting on the PWI top 500?
The PWI top 5 podcasters.
I got it. You ready? I got a match.
Go ahead.
You know what's going to get me on there? I'm going to wrestle RJ City for Catalyst Wrestling. And the match is going to be a bust. It's going to be a bust of
keep saying bust. I'm waiting. You're gonna wrestle RJ City.
I'm going to wrestle RJ City, and it's going to be a bust of Danhausen that we're going to try to collect. By the way, talking about Danhausen. You want to see my Danhausen toy?
Oh, yeah. I still got to order this figure. It's an awesome figure.
Look at this thing. Ready? How
I
awesome
love
is
that
this?
that packaging. Yeah.
Isn't this awesome? It's beautiful. It's
amazing.
So well.
Well, the little hand on the pullout is amazing, and it's like that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Or you know what? A
Comic-Con.
Vincent Price bust. That's what we'll do. It'll be a Vincent Price bust that we'll fight over.
What if it was a tag match, you and me versus RJ City and Danhausen?
Oh, are we spooky guys too?
We're spooky guys, but you get the hot tag. You get the hot tag, and as soon as you tag in, you fall asleep.
Great. Perfect. WWE TV, Raw, Nia Jax returned to attack Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez at the end of Raw after the main event.
Great.
Chad Gable interrupted Gunther's Intercontinental celebration. Nakamura continues to go after Seth with more cool video package. I thought that video package was great. And this was a very low-rated show. Lowest rating of the year against Monday Night Football. But it was the first Monday Night Football, and it was a big match. Big game.
Yeah.
1.35 million viewers with a .40.
Until the star went out in the fourth play of the game, and
fourth
people might
play
have
of the
switched.
game. Yeah. Very unfortunate.
Another story altogether.
Yeah. Becky Lynch won the NXT Women's title from Tiffany Stratton. I thought this was great to elevate Tiffany. She's going to become a star now. The show did 850,000 viewers, up 26% from last week. The final quarter, that match drew close to 1 million viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. AEW. What did you think of it this week?
I thought it was a fun show. I liked the setups for Grand Slam. I think they did a very tight show this week. You know, I feel like it was like a little more like put together. Maybe that's just me. You know, like the after effects of CM Punk leaving. I think they went for it. You know, I think they went for it. That opener with Mox and Big Bill, I loved it.
I hope they do some stuff with Big Bill, man. I really do. I hope they elevate him. I don't know, but what are you going to change? I think it's growing on me.
If they change his name to Big Billions, way better.
Big Billions. I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Jon Moxley defeated Big Bill with Ricky Starks to retain the AEW International title. Don Callis revealed his next masterpiece. Looks like it's going to be Kota Ibushi and Takeshita. Is this at Wrestle Dream?
I would imagine
I cannot
that's
wait.
where they're doing it. They haven't announced it yet, but they were definitely teasing it.
I think that's a great match to see.
Yeah.
Tony Storm defeated Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, and Sheeta to earn the AEW Women's title shot at Grand Slam. So Britt Baker took the pin.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about this though? They're starting a secondary program with her and Sheeta, so I think that's good. You know, that they're starting another women's program that they can put on either Collision or Dynamite.
Yeah. Let's see. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara are going to have a match at Grand Slam. All right, cool. This Grand Slam card looks good. Backstage interview last week. From last week, MJF is in the locker room. He did the Steiner math promo so well.
Pretty nuts, yeah.
He made it better.
I thought it was great. Hangman Page defeated Brian Cage. Try saying that 3 times fast. Swerve came out mid-match after Brian Cage attacked Adam Page. The Young Bucks made the save. Don Callis interrupts also Daniel Garcia's interview to recruit him. Garcia ended up dancing in his face. Darby Allin, Nick Wayne defeated Matt Menard and Angelo Parker with Jake Hager and Anna Jay on the outside. Samoa Joe defeated Roderick Strong. This was awesome. Great match.
Yeah.
He won with a coquina clutch. After the match, Joe cut a promo on MJF saying that he's going to take everything from him. Adam Cole came out to check on Roddy. When Ronnie, who's Ronnie? Ronnie from the Jersey Shore? When Ronnie sees him,
when Ron
fakes
saw him.
the bump. Then he yelled at Adam at the top of his lungs as the paramedic stretchered him out. Cole goes up the ramp and gets choked out by Samoa Joe. Rampage spoilers. Go ahead, Rich. Go.
So next week we're getting the main event of Samoa Joe versus MJF, right?
Yeah, that's the match.
Which is going to get ruined by Adam Cole now?
Is it?
Shenanigans?
I don't know. We'll see. But, man, I hope that building gets close to 9,000 people. I hope they're able to be around that 9,000 number. Chris Statlander defends the TBS title tonight against Jade Cargill. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass are in action. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett take on Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal. Talk about a Ring of Honor match. The Hardys and the Lucha Bros versus Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, The Butcher, and The Blade.
It's going to be
Collision, we have Claudio and Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Starks and Big Bill. FTR defends the AEW titles against the Iron Savages.
Great.
Here's the card for Grand Slam. MJF defends the title against Samoa Joe. Jon Moxley defends the AEW International title against Rey Fenix.
Great.
Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. ROH
Great.
World Title, Claudio versus and New Japan Strong Openweight Champion Eddie Kingston, title for title. Great. Saraya defends the title against Tony Storm. What a fantastic card.
Awesome. So far, great card, right?
So
and we'll probably get more.
No Kenny Omega in action? Okay, but wait, where's Kenny Omega? Where are the Bucks?
Exactly. Where's Danielson?
Where's Hangman? Where's Danielson on this thing? I would be very disappointed if we don't get them on this card.
Exactly.
I think they'll be there.
Especially like a big dominant New York show.
Yeah. You're not going to put these guys on the card? They're not going to be in action in a major way?
Does Homicide show up at one point?
Homicide shows up at one point, I'm sure. So let's talk about this. So I wanted to touch on a couple things here because there's a lot of speculation as to what's going on in AEW before we go into viewer questions. Guys, submit your questions in the chat. I think next year is going to be very interesting for them, considering the rights deal is going to be done soon. Max, I feel confident to say Max is going to be their home for AEW. I also feel confident to say that they're going to run 12 pay-per-views a year.
Interesting predictions.
Not a prediction, my friend.
Oh, no?
I feel confident to say it.
Okay.
Feel very confident to say it. But listen, here's the question, right?
Tomorrow.
Would you, as a fan, right? Forget about you doing this as a fan. And I'm not saying that they're charging you for all these pay-per-views. I don't know what their charging structure is going to be. I don't know if they're going to charge you more to access this. I don't know if they're going to give it away. If they're going to still do traditional pay-per-view. Would you pay $50 12 times a year for AEW?
I would not. But I think if they loop it in with Max, you're not going to have to. Maybe you'll pay a little premium, but I don't see them charging extra for a $15 per month service. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the WWE Network was $10 a month and you got everything. Now you get Peacock. Peacock's like $5 a month and you get everything, right? I think they would have to do it similarly where if you have a Max subscription, you get all the AEW stuff.
But remember, WWE had tremendous regret, and I'm willing to bet that they still do, about what they did with that pay-per-view model. I was told immediately that they had instant regret that they did this because at the time that network was being built, they were talking about how the pay-per-view model is dead, right?
Yeah.
Pay-per-view is dying. It's dead. Subscription is where it's at. And Vince was apprehensive, and a lot of people were like, listen, at least don't give away the big four. Right. WrestleMania, have Survivor Series, have SummerSlam, have Royal Rumble, and charge the $79 for pay-per-view for those big ones. And the rest you give away, the PLEs. But they didn't go that way. And I know that Vince many times was very conflicted on this. Now there's no turning back. You can't remove them now since that's the model. And they've already created a way to make it valuable, with Peacock. But when the network was created, they really, it was a risky decision. I don't know if AEW will charge more or give this thing away for free if you have a subscription. Or maybe they're going to charge you for the package. It's $5 a month, $4.99 a month for the AEW package.
I'd be okay with that.
On top of your Max subscription.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
Could you get... It really comes down to, like, the numbers, right? Right now, 100,000 people are buying these pay-per-views at $50 a pop. There's a rev split, obviously, right? So...
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of money from a pay-per-view that you're going to make. So, what happens here? That revenue that they're making off the pay-per-views, that whatever it is, that's tremendous.
We'll see, because it's also like a little bit of overload, isn't it? Like, do you see yourself, like, if you had to, would you get every single pay-per-view and then the Ring of Honor pay-per-views and then whatever extra stuff is out there? Like, I feel like it's a lot. I feel like if they work it into the structure of Max, it's easier for everybody, because that might be a thing where fans turn on them.
Well, here, Michael in the chat, he goes, WWE has enough money. There's no such thing as enough money in business. There is no such thing. You don't know what tomorrow brings. If 4 years from now your business makes a bad turn, you're not going to say, well, we made too much money back then, we had to put the pause on it. No, you always think about the rainy day. I think there's so much I want to say that I can't yet.
Right.
That synergy between WBD and AEW is very interesting. Very interesting.
More to come in the future, I suppose, Andrew.
Yeah. They're gonna grab me by my collar and throw me out of Arthur Ashe.
I know, you're gonna get like Uncle Phil out of the arena. I'm
gonna get Uncle Phil by Tony. I'd like to see that. I like Tony to give me the jazz Uncle Phil throw out of that building. I think this makes all the sense, right? Next day rights, everything. You gotta. It's 3 years. Where are the archives?
Yeah. They. It would be interesting if they really had everything ready to go from the jump. Where they're like, this is everything we got. We're ready to load it up. It's QC'd. It's primed to go. We're going to throw it on this service, and that's it. And that would be awesome too. To be able to watch like past events and past episodes of Dynamite and Collision and Rampage on one service would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how would you do that? Would it be a portal inside Max? Or
no, well, they have a hub on Max. I don't know if you've seen that.
Right.
Like you could go to like the DC section, right?
Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
Man, what a great service Max is. If you really think about it.
It really is the best.
My favorite. It's my favorite of them all.
Like it really is. It's got everything.
TCM, it's got Studio Ghibli, it's got like not Comedy Central. I lost my Adult Swim.
Adult Swim, yeah. Well, also, Paramount is ramping up also now.
Yeah.
And Paramount's going to be doing live events.
They're pretty similar. Their service is pretty similar. I don't know. So when you guys watch the pay-per-views, Andrew, I know you watch it on your TV, right?
Yeah.
Always. When you watch BR Live,
yeah,
is the player that you see, can you like navigate it okay, or does it suck as much as it does on the browser?
I've never had a problem at all with BR Live. I'm the only person on the freaking planet. I have no issues.
Well, I was trying to do clipping for the All In and All Out this year. I was trying to clip, and it is terrible having to trying to go back 5 seconds or 10 seconds. You can't do it. It's an absolute terrible in the browser. So, I just hope that Max is much better because you can go back 10 seconds or move around.
I will say this. I think next week, next week's show, I'll have more clarity on things that I'm alluding to. Okay, I'll try to get some more clarity. I don't like jeopardizing things when I talk about it. and people. Like, I do this for fun. Like, Sean's a journalist. This is Sean's job. This is Dave's job. This is Brian's job. I very much enjoy talking about this and giving people insight, but I also don't like doing it at a detriment of people's jobs.
Exactly.
Deals that are happening. So sometimes I pull back if I know that something is being worked on. I also don't want another TV-14 scenario to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know someone at WWE? I went out to dinner with them. This was in December. Yeah. And they're like, dude, he goes, I was dying when I saw your tweet because it had like 38,000 likes like within like a minute.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I don't think I should have deleted that tweet. I should have added more clarity. But he's like, we were dying because it was all true. and then it wasn't. Like 25 minutes later.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it was just that somebody at USA jumped the gun and it pissed people off at WWE and at USA, and they're like, F this. No, now we're not talking about it.
We're not doing it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, fascinating. So we'll get on this. Guys, submit your questions. I know you got to get out of here, Rich, right?
Yeah, let's do like 10 minutes of questions and then
let's do that. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Gonzo, can you put the super chats on the screen, please? Yes.
Okay.
What was your favorite thing this week, Rich?
My favorite thing this week, I like Becky winning the NXT title.
Very cool.
But it's hard. It's hard because I'm looking forward to Grand Slam.
Yeah, me too.
It may have been Samoa Joe beating Roddy. It may have been the Don Callis reveal of the Kota Ibushi painting.
Michael, I'm watching YouTube, a downtown Flushing video in December on YouTube. It's a walking down through downtown Flushing. Rich, you do that every day.
I do. Like I said, downtown Flushing is great, but great food, great culture, great shopping, a lot of good places to eat and hang out. It also could be the grossest place on the planet. And there's tons of rats all the time.
Spitting. A lot of spitting.
A lot of spitting.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't been there before, it's a bit of a culture shock, but it's cool. There's a Popeyes.
Is there a Kennedy?
There's I think so. Yeah, on the corner of Main and Northern. There's that Kennedy Fried Chicken, which is great. A bus crashed into it a couple of years ago.
It did. Yes.
Yeah. I didn't see the crash, but I drove past right after the crash happened and was like, oh my God, that bus is in that building, like the bus driver lost control and crashed like a city bus into a Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Fantastic.
All
right, MG, get those questions up, baby.
All right. This is a super chat. This is the first one. AEW should charge. This is more of a statement. AEW should charge for Big Four pay-per-views on Max and have the other months be Clash of the Champions style. That would be cool.
Well, it comes down to is Max gonna pay for the rights of this, right? And how are they gonna monetize it?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a loss leader for them? How are they looking at this? I don't know. I don't know how they're equating giving up money. Because you're charging for this and you're getting about 100,000 people a show. So let's do this. Let's do 100,000.
Yeah.
I want to see what they're.
Now, what are the pay-per-view buys usually like for AEW? Like that all-in show, is that released already? Like how many people bought that show on pay-per-view?
I believe it's shy of 200,000 right now.
Okay.
Domestic, I think. I think that's the domestic number. Or maybe that's a total. I can't remember, but they're shy of 200,000 as far as I know.
Now, would you, as a fan, if your Max subscription went up to $19.99 a month, including AEW, would you pull the trigger on that?
Dude, that is how much Max is. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's what you're paying for now? That's what you're paying for Max now?
Yeah, I believe it's $20 a month.
Okay.
Isn't that great? It's expensive. It's not cheap. Well,
mine's included in my cable package.
Wait a minute. Why does it say starting at $9.99 a month?
Yeah.
What the hell am I paying for?
Do you have 2 subscriptions?
Do I have 6 subscriptions here? No.
One for your left hand and one for your right hand?
Hold on. Let me sign in. What is my Max?
I got Max on my left eye, and also I got another subscription for my right eye.
Mm.
So I gotta watch two things at once.
Oh, I am in. Okay, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah. Are you just gonna start watching shit now?
Yeah. Maybe. Am I not paying for Max? Choose a plan. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
Okay,
MG and I haven't
unlimited-
looped into our cable service.
Okay, unlimited ad-free is $20 a month.
Okay.
But this gives you 4K. It gives you the Dolby Atmos. It gives you download to go, and you can stream on 4 devices.
Right.
So $200 a year. Would you pay
Okay.
another $100 a year to get AEW?
Including the pay-per-views, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You're paying $50 anyway.
I would do that. So on my end for Spectrum, it's $14.99 a month plus the same things that you just mentioned. So I just got to
Also, you
log
get the
in
unlimited everything.
Right. So I log in with my Spectrum account on the app, and then it's everything. So the downloads, like the logins, like all that stuff. 4K.
Same with
Okay.
me on Xfinity. Same thing.
Okay. I don't have cable. I have YouTube
Yeah,
TV.
you have Hulu TV and YouTube TV.
I do actually. I have both.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah. Well,
So you're paying for more than you would pay for cable to get those two services.
no, I'll explain it. I have it for. I have access to it. I have access to both, but
Okay,
I
okay.
personally pay for YouTube TV,
Got it.
and it's crazy. It's like 90 freaking bucks a month now.
I know. We got another $2 Canadian from Glassdoor Gamer. Roddy Strong equals most improved character.
Yeah, I think so. Right?
He's got another one too. I'm going to put this one up and see what you guys think of this. Should AEW pick up WWE head office cuts?
It depends who it is.
Yeah. Triple H,
Uh,
absolutely.
It depends on who's getting cut and for what position. You know, there are certain people there.
Mm.
I think there's certain people that would be great in that company, but I don't know if they're getting laid off or not.
Mm.
I think AEW needs a better. I don't know. I don't want to criticize anybody's job, but I think if you were AEW, I think you need to ramp up your marketing a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, that
for
first Arthur Ashe show that they did, they had the street stencil that it said AEW Grand Slam all over Manhattan.
Mhm.
There were posters everywhere. They were all over the
Yeah.
subway. They were all over Manhattan. I haven't seen crap.
Yeah, this year not so much. I feel like maybe they've I feel like that first show set the bar.
Yeah.
But last year and going into this year, it seems like they're not really putting too much emphasis on the show.
Well, I will tell you.
Where
I will tell you. You were there, right? You were at the last one. You were at the first
I was
one.
there, baby.
And you stayed
Oh,
later.
boy,
than
was
me.
I there last year.
Oh,
Yes.
boy. I wish we could tell the story.
Boy, was I there.
One day we'll tell the story. Who is the nicest one out of all of them?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
Okay.
It was yeah, go ahead.
Was it Stang?
Stang was pretty rad.
That's wild. I could tell you that, you know, marketing trends, and a lot of people are saying this, that grassroots marketing is becoming the thing again. And simplifying your marketing plan is becoming the thing again. The internet has become very oversaturated. Messaging gets lost. There's so much stimulation. There's so much messaging. Everybody's concentrating on that. But you know what? I think we're going to start seeing a little bit of a shift here where traditional marketing tactics are going to have to become a thing again.
Absolutely.
I don't think AEW's marketing is up to that level. Not knocking anybody there. It's just a different way of thinking. And I'm in this. I'm in the city. You know, I
think
have to market.
post-pandemic. I think post-pandemic, a lot of people are getting boots on the ground again and getting away from their screens more too. So that's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
This is a good one. This is a good one here. This is
you
from
got one?
Played
Oh.
Yourself. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You put yours up.
Okay.
There you go.
I think we both clicked it. Can we talk? This is when you played yourself. Can we talk about AEW Grand Slam being too expensive? I want to go, but the only option is a cheap seat under $100. Does that affect ticket sales for that show? Just get the cheap seats, man. Like you can see it on the giant monitor hovering above Arthur Ashe. Like every seat's pretty good in the house.
Yeah,
like,
the seats were pretty good, and they've closed off a lot of stuff. So I don't think you have like really bad nosebleeds available, but the tickets are too expensive. We looked, right? How much was it? It was obscene.
Closer to the ring, they're a little too pricey, but I got an email yesterday with a buy one get one, and those were like $33. But like those were like way up there. Like I got nosebleed seats last year for Alex and I, and they were $55 each, and they were like not at the top, but like right before that top level. You know, it was like I got like that vertigo. You know, when you're going up like an angled stadium staircase. I was just like, we're really high.
How far behind were you from mine?
Oh, I was like 3 sections behind you, like way up. You know, like you were where I ended up going to your section was like night and day compared to like where we were.
And I was up. I wasn't like.
No, you were pretty close.
You think so?
Like you were in the section right before ringside. You were in the first elevated section right before ringside, like at the top of that section.
I don't remember.
And we started there, and then we didn't end up there. So
you end up somewhere else.
We ended up somewhere else. This year, the only way to top what happened last year is if I get the hot tag from somebody in a match next Wednesday. Brother,
Ticketmaster has $30 seats for Grand Slam. So I mean, right now, listen, if you're in the New York tri-state area and you want to go, I think it's gonna be a fun show. I would pick it up. You know?
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have?
He's got another.
Go ahead.
He's got another.
Can we stick to MG? What are you doing?
I'm trying to. Okay. Well, I'm trying to put a super chat up. Oh, this is
there we go.
In question. Okay.
We just did this one.
Yeah, I think he's just following up. He sent us $5.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
AEW New York shows too much money affecting sales. Want to go to a decent seat, but I can't afford the cheap seats. I want to support AEW. Yeah, listen. You could also move up. You know.
Yeah.
Be a little bit of a hustler. Get the cheap seats and go down to a seat that's open. They really don't have too much security in that building. It's like you could walk around, do whatever the hell you're doing.
Yeah, it's very different from like the U.S. Open.
Like I was walking. John Alba was like, "Oh, I'm in the press area. Come meet me." And like I walked right through the production area. Like there was no like there was. I like, "Oh, sorry guys, I just got to cut across." They're like, "Yeah, go ahead." Like there were full blown production area I had to cut across. So like they're not really like crazy strict.
Breaking news: Andrew Zarian says trespassing is okay.
Yeah, you're in New York. You're in New York, sucker.
On that. You're gonna get quoted on that on like every forum now. Andrew Zarian says trespassing is okay.
Shin's got it. Shin has to give his 2 cents. He spent $2 on this, so we'll throw it on the screen. If I can get it to come.
Oh, here we go. Wrestle Purist has quoted me. Thank you, my friend. I feel confident to say Max is gonna be the home for AEW. I also feel confident to say they're gonna run 12 pay-per-views a year. Not a prediction, my friend. I feel very confident to say it. You know what? That is a direct quote.
There you go.
That's a direct quote.
Shin Solidus, Sergeant Shin Solidus, Shin, our friend. Corbin should have been number 1 on the PWI.
Oh, of course. Dude, what kind of snacks you having today, Shin? You know what? We need a day where we hang with Shin. I'm so upset that we haven't had a day to hang with Shin.
We need to do
you remember the wacky stuff we used to do before everything went bad, where he used to give us certain things? Remember that?
Yeah, and then he'd get really upset because we'd get really nasty.
We got the greatest prize of them all from Shin, and you know what? Times are different. We can't even talk about it anymore.
I know.
And we got the honor. We were honored by this thing that Shin gave us, and we can't even talk about it anymore. It's unbelievable.
I mean,
Times have changed. Times have changed.
You guys did. I did.
Yeah, you'll never get it.
You'll never get it, dude.
You are,
especially where you live.
You are last on that PWI, my friend.
Yeah.
All right.
Daniel Carver's giving him something. Did you know that? Daniel Carver gave MG something.
Oh, yeah? What was that?
I don't want. We can't talk about it. We can't talk about it.
Brian Knight, hashtag Ask Mattman, in honor of Teddy Long's birthday. Which one current wrestler would you love to see on a one-on-one match with The Undertaker in his
prime player?
Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega. That's a weird match, right?
Kenny Omega just did a bunch of wacky shit. He beat somebody, and then Teddy Long comes out and was like, "Guess what, player? You're going one-on-one with the Undertaker." And
Okada.
I would lose my mind.
Okada.
Oh, I would love that. But if for some reason it's taking place in Japan and Teddy Long comes out at Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome and does that to Okada.
Love it. In a casket match.
Oh, I would like Tombstone versus Tombstone. Come on.
No. You ready? Okay. So again, in the Tokyo Dome, Undertaker, he does his freaking entrance, right? Okada does an entrance also, but he's like a goth sad boy. So he has like the makeup, like just like running, and he's like a sad goth boy wrestling the Undertaker.
Undertaker in his prime. That's a really good question. Like I would love. There's a lot of wrestlers I would love to see wrestling. Like not even like
what year is Undertaker's prime? 97?
No, like when he could still go. I feel like that Punk match was a great example. WrestleMania 30.
I don't think that was his prime.
31.
Though. Like I think we're thinking like Undertaker in his prime. You know, his return like to the Dead Man, that was a great run.
That was WrestleMania 20.
20 to like 30, I guess, was like his fantastic run, right?
25. Let's say 20 WrestleMania 25.
Okay,
The first or second Shawn Michaels match. You know? Definitely Okada, Omega.
Brian Knight says Orange Cassidy.
Oh dear.
Can you imagine that? Ooh, I got one. Danhausen.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. I want to see RJ City and Undertaker where RJ just faints.
So you're on Shantae. So you're on Shantae gimmick.
I would give I want to sit down with RJ next week and explain him the Shantae gimmick and get his thoughts on it.
Would you sell it to him?
I would sell it to him, yeah.
Buy my gimmick, brother.
But listen to me. Who doesn't like an androgynous Victorian man that faints at a hot tag?
I want you to, if we end up meeting people next week, I want you to get like really carny. I want you to try to carny everybody, give them weird handshakes and say like real carny shit.
Dude,
hey, brother,
like
listen, I got a great gimmick for you.
Do one of these?
Keep calling everybody brother incessantly for no reason. Brother, where can I set up the merch booth, brother? You know how it is, brother.
Yeah.
So let's acknowledge a couple of these super chats. They're not really thanks. So what's up, boys? Michael Thomas.
Hello, Michael.
He just said, so what, boys? He didn't say what's up. He said, so what?
So what, boys?
And then this one from Glasster Gamer. If you get caught trespassing, scream Adam. Adam. And then let's finish up with this one. And if you guys want to do more, we can. But Pro Wrestling Joe wants to know, do you feel confident? I think he's talking about the Max, if they'll try the test run on Max by the fall.
Do you feel confident to say the test run includes an AEW pay-per-view this fall by now?
I'm not, I can't. 2024, I feel really confident. I don't.
Mm-hmm. It feels a little rushed. It feels too soon.
Well,
right?
I mean, there's technical stuff, and there's financial stuff, but I do see it happening. It just I don't know if November would be the time. Now I'm getting asked all these questions.
Yeah, I know. Do you guys want to keep going, and then I'll bounce out of here?
Yeah, no. Oh, you got to leave.
I do, yeah.
I think we can be done. We don't have too many more questions.
Let's do one more.
All right, one more.
Let's do one more.
I have one. This is actually a good one. This is about TV rights for SmackDown. Brian Knight, will Fox keep SmackDown?
I don't know. I think the 300 million plus is very high. I think the 300 million plus is very high, and it was they have to look at it like a loss leader. That's a ton of money, but the ratings were great, had been fantastic, and it's elevated obviously, and they're number one generally. Yeah. They're in the top. I don't know. I mean, Fox could come in, but I really now with the ESPN stuff, That's a fascinating move. Do you put it on ESPN? You're going to get preempted. Do you put it on ABC? I don't know what their schedule looks like. They're going to have to move a lot of stuff around on a Friday night. And then there's that Amazon. They met with Jeff Bezos. I don't know if you saw that. So maybe Amazon.
Oh, really?
I don't think streaming should be where it goes unless Amazon's ready to lose a whole shit ton of money.
Okay.
And ratings don't matter at that point, right? Because you're already getting paid for it, and everybody could access it for free on Amazon. Everybody has an Amazon account. So we'll see. All right. You want to wrap it up?
Awesome. Yep. Let's do it.
Wrap it up. All right, boys and girls. That's it for this week. I'll be back on Sunday with Wrestling Observer Live. MG, you're producing it solo. Can you do it?
Yes, I can. We will discuss off air. We're going to talk about that.
And listen, if you are at Arthur Ashe next week, Rich and I will be there. Make sure you say hello to us, okay? And tell us who you are. Like, tell me who you are, because I suffer from that. I suffer from that thing where I have like facial blindness.
I suffer from that thing where I don't give a shit.
I suffer from that thing. I don't know who you are. I honestly, I will, like, if I don't see Rich for 3 weeks and I see him walking down like the street, I maybe won't recognize him.
That is true.
And then he has to kiss me right on my lips, and I'm like, "Oh, Richard."
He gets
they have to tell you. They have to tell your YouTube or Twitter handle, right?
It's me, Malacca Boy 96 from YouTube.
Oh, sweet.
Dude, it's you. All right, guys, that's it for this week. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye for now.
Later.